But before films, Chris, what's your Christmas number one?
Well, I think it's going to be Wham, because I'm even careful saying that because, you know, anybody is whammed, or, you know, the whole Whamathon thing, which has taken off in recent years.
Would that be your choice?
I suppose, well, possibly, because it wasn't number one first time around. It was the year of Band-Aid, 1984. And I remember Shakin' Stevens, which was number one the year later. They put that song off by a year because they knew that there was no competition with Band-Aid and Wham. So there's a lot of nostalgia in there.
Oh, you're an expert on nostalgia, so of course you know that. I wanted to ask you, Chris, it sounds like a very silly question, but do you actually like Christmas films? Are they overdone? Are there too many? Do you find them too cheesy? Or do you embrace it as you've embraced a Christmas jumper today?
Well, that's right. And I'm wearing this because I did sneak off earlier today to watch Home Alone. I couldn't resist it. But that's a really good question, because I think I always found that Christmas films really intrigued me, and I could never quite work out why, because generally sort of children's films, certainly even like Marvel films, never quite do it for me, but Christmas films always hit a spot. And I think it's because they've got redemption, they've got nostalgia, they've got transformation, and they've got all this baggage. They go back to the 19th century, but they go back even earlier with the Nativity. So there's so much in them, and often they're dismissed as being quite one-dimensional. They got one-star reviews in some of the critics' reviews. But often these films are always about somebody becoming a better person on Christmas Day. So there's a lot in there for us, the audience, to grab onto.
And of course, tonight's episode of Kent Film Club, we're going to be seeing Gabriel Morris, one of our reporters, his 4 favourite films. What did his film choices say about him? Well,
3 of those films have a war connection. One of them, I can reveal, is Back to the Future, which is not all that dissimilar really from some of the Christmas films, with the whole going back, changing the past, can we change the future as well, and certainly is throughout that trilogy. So no, it was really interesting because, you know, Gabriel also chose a film which is an animated film, but it's based on a classic 1960s wartime set film, The Great Escape. So you'll have to see which one that is.
And you've interviewed most of our news team now. Who surprised you the most?
Well, I enjoyed what you had to say because...
Of course you'd say that with me sitting
I have to
here
say
with
that.
you.
No, I'm thinking very strategically. I think everyone has come up with some really off-centre kind of choices. Like everyone's, you know, said something that I wouldn't have necessarily expected them to say. But also they reveal something about like the journey that everyone's on. And, you know, we'll see that in a future episode as well about, you know, the sort of life changes.
There we go. And we've not got long left, Chris, but very quickly, it's the last time we're going to speak to you before Christmas. Ultimate Christmas Day film. Okay,
well, a lot of people would say It's a Wonderful Life. Do you know what I would honestly say? A Muppet Christmas Carol. You can't go wrong. Best Scrooge adaptation, Michael Caine's best performance ever.
There we go. You heard it here. Chris, thank you very much for joining us.